Good morning, it's Ian Koniak, and today I'm going to talk about how to get out of a rut. Why am I talking about this? Because I was in a rut the past week in a big way. And for those of you who know me, you know that I pride myself on showing up every day, doing my best, and I just wasn't showing up. I was giving into old temptations. When I say old temptations, my old temptation was when the going gets tough, when work specifically gets hard and filled with things that I don't feel like doing, I would procrastinate, avoid those things, and go to YouTube or go to distractions. And that's something I've worked on for a while and I haven't really struggled with, and it all kind of came back this past week, and I found myself giving into distractions, avoiding work, and it felt really bad. And of course I started beating myself up about it. And so I am sharing this video as much for other people as I am for myself in terms of how to get out of a slump. And so the first thing I will share is, why do people get in a slump? Can't speak for everybody else, but I know for myself, a lot of times I get in a slump when I feel like things have gotten mundane, when I feel like sometimes I'm doing the same thing over and over again. It feels kind of boring. It's almost like I'm bored. And that's one reason. Another reason is when things are really hard. In other words, the work in front of you appears daunting. And it's like, man, this is going to be tough. And it simply doesn't feel good. And so maybe you have no pipeline and you have to go and build a bunch of pipeline, or in my case, there's some financial accounting things that I have to get done, and I'm about to record a bunch of stuff for the courses, and I have to do some administrative stuff on the course, and it's just a lot of stuff that's outside of my element of coaching and not exactly in my sweet spot. So sometimes it's avoidance, sometimes it's boredom. The question is, or sometimes it's physical. I had COVID about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it hit me pretty bad in my chest, and I just hadn't been able to, if you've heard of long COVID, it's has lasting effects for some people, and I was really tired and lethargic. I know when you get sick or something physical happens, sometimes that can take you out of your element as well. So when you get out of your element, how do you get back in? How do you get out of a slump? And here's what I'm doing right now. I think number one, it requires you to connect to your purpose and your vision as to why you're feeling this way. And a lot of times the origin is you don't feel connected to your day-to-day work. You're like, what's the point? And so if you write down why right now, your current why, it's so important to show up every day, you got to reconnect to that vision. So what I wrote is a daily affirmation that I could repeat to myself every single morning. And I will, because I used to do that, and it really worked well to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. So I said, I will show up every single day and give it my all, regardless of how I feel. Because when I'm all in, I feel my best, I inspire others to perform their best, and I provide the life that my family deserves. So reminding myself that the way I show up can have a ripple effect for my clients, but also for my kids, for my family. Reminding myself that I'm trying to lead by example in terms of my work ethic, in terms of my attitude, in terms of my resilience. Trying to lead my children, show them what good looks like so they can have that model, not see me on the couch watching TV or hunkering away, but see me showing up. So just remembering that what you do impacts others. My clients, my future clients, my kids, my family. It's not about me. When you make it about you, a lot of times it's like, well, what's the point? What do I care? But when you make it about other people, it makes a huge difference. The other thing I'm trying to do, I'm about to go on probably a 4 or 5 mile run. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to go running right after this video. Is you get in motion, you get in movement. When you move physically, when you exercise, when you do yoga, when you meditate, when you are taking action physically, you feel better. You feel better. There's a concept of motion creating emotion. And even if you don't feel like it, if you do it anyway, after you do it, you feel a lot better. So getting back into the exercise routine that I had before, but I had to stop when I got sick, that's a huge thing as well. And then the last thing that I'm adding is journaling, just making sure that I'm writing down at the beginning of the day my affirmation, reading it, writing down what I'm grateful for, and at the end of the day, seeing what I could do better and rating myself. It's a quick journal, 5-minute journal that I have, and I'm doing those things because I know through my example, I've been here before many times, unfortunately. I know that I feel shitty when I'm not trying. It's not about the results for me. The results are going to come. Those are the outcomes. It's about the effort. When I try, I feel fantastic, and everything else flows. The results go. So those are some ways to get out of a slump. I know it's hard. I struggle with mental health, and sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. But I also know that every day is a new day, and you can decide to take action even when you don't feel like it, because it's all about your habits. And once you get in consistently good habits, good routines, you start to feel better, you start to feel like yourself. So that for me is the key. And I hope that this video helps anyone who might be in a slump, who might not be trying their best, who might not be feeling their best. Remember, reconnect to your vision, get moving through exercise, and really try to make sure that you have an affirmation or something that you can remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. Don't make it about you, make it about other people. I'm Ian Cognac, thanks for listening. See you guys next week.